let's just establish this off the top. All right, just 1 to 3 words max. What's everyone's thoughts on this show?
I'm with the majority of people. It was sort of meh.
I am in that boat as well. It was a mid show.
It was mid as fuck.
All right, so that's established right out of the gate. Good. It was a mid show. You know, I made a short about it. So shout out to that. You should definitely go watch it. That Jeff Keighley made the right call to set expectations on this in advance. Like, hey,
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
He said beforehand, it's an okay show.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's okay. He even said we don't have that one more thing, which a little disrespectful to Phantom Blade Zero because it looks sick, but I do understand it's not to the same appeal as like, you know, an Elden Ring a couple years ago. I get it. But yeah, he did say up front, you know, we don't have that one more thing. And I kind of felt that, like, even though like the show went on a little too long, whatever, once we got to the Phantom Blade Zero trailer and it, you know, the show ended, I'm like, oh, that was the end. That's what he meant by the no one more thing. Okay, I got it. I mean, when it comes to this show, I mean, it was cool to get some updates on stuff. Like we got the special editions for Black Myth Wukong revealed in this. That was cool.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero release date for Sonic X Shadow Generations. So that was cool. And in terms of new games, there was not a lot for me that stood out. All the Blumhouse stuff looks interesting. I did not expect to get 6 games revealed. I expect when I saw Blumhouse was going to be at the show, I was like, okay, we're probably going to get one big AAA cool horror game. I didn't expect 6 different horror games of all different types, and I'm just like, all right, you know, I'm here for this. This is cool. Power Rangers Rita Rewind is probably my highlight of the show.
I'll be curious about that one because I mean, I like a good beat 'em up, and Power Rangers one, I played the hell out of it on the NES.
Yep.
The art style and just how it looked, though, it did seem like it felt a bit odd to me. So I'd be curious
loved
to see
it.
how. I don't know. It just seemed weird to me.
I loved it, dude. I loved the art style for the game. I really did. Because it reminded me so much of that era that you just mentioned. You know, so like I loved it. I mean, I'm completely here for it. I'm a big Power Ranger fan. I've been in a big Power Ranger kick just recently. So when I saw that, I got mega hyped. So that was probably my biggest hype of the show. Cuff Bust looked like a lot of fun, though. Yeah,
that seems interesting considering it's from Choo Choo Charles creator.
Yeah, as soon as I heard him say Choo Choo Charles creator, I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be pretty interesting. No, Cuff Bust is definitely one that I would love to play with you guys. Like, you know, just as a group, we all play. Also, big shout out to when the game is coming. Did you guys see the comment on that in the trailer?
I don't remember.
It said coming 2025, maybe. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I did catch that.
10 out of 10.
I'm normally the one to speak very highly of Summer Games Fest.
Yes, that is your show.
There's not a lot here that really like stood out to me too much besides stuff we already knew about.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this. Like the Inotria, the last song, looks great.
That looked definitely interesting. That caught my eye too.
It's like that one caught my eye. Especially like that trailer they had for it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, a game I'm probably not gonna play. I'm gonna say that up front. But Mecha Break looks insane.
It does look pretty cool.
Insane.
I mean, it's got a closed beta coming up you can sign for and really test it.
True.
I mean, I think my biggest take from it was Civ 7.
Yeah. Reveal on that one, true. Killer Bean was interesting, I guess. I mean, interesting. I mean, it's based on a movie for anyone that forgot the movie.
There was a movie?
Yeah, there was a movie in 2009 or 2007. It's the exact same character. Yes, it's the exact same character. Like it's the same franchise, but yeah. So now he's getting like a GTA style game basically. So I guess shout out to that.
That was the thing.
Yeah. Slitherhead looked, I thought, pretty cool.
I mean Slitherhead looked interesting, but also like as I was watching it, I couldn't keep interested in it. I don't know why.
John. Concept seems interesting. I have no clue what was happening in that trailer.
It's like, yeah, I the actual concept of what we saw, not the biggest fan of.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. One thing I was going to ask both of you, because I don't know how much either of you guys are playing it. What was your thoughts on the finals update that we got for the Kyoto one?
Oh, that's going to be hella fun with
Okay.
all the new melee weapon update. That's going to be fantastic. Because I think out of John and me, I'm the one who usually ran melee like an idiot a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the melee. So seeing that update will be fun.
I didn't run it much. It was occasionally fun to have, but I also haven't played much of the finals recently. But I don't know. Maybe I'll try to jump back into it.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I also wanted to shout out, just because I don't know, it just kind of bugs me, and I was kind of curious you guys' thoughts on this, is the opening of the show where Jeff now finally addresses the layoffs and praises indie devs for this. Like, do you guys feel like that was legitimate? Because I don't feel like it was legitimate. I genuinely don't. Like he already said in his little interview earlier in the week, like, hey, have lower expectations. It's kind of a quieter year for game. In my opinion, he did that because it's like we don't have the big shit. Like, I'm all for praising indie developers. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm just trying to shit on Jeff's intentions because it doesn't feel legitimate to me because it's like last year was a historic year for layoffs. Why didn't you mention it at the Game Awards?
Yeah, it felt, for me, 100% out of place.
Agreed. Like, I'm glad it happened. I am. But it's like, why didn't you do it before?
I would almost bet that it is brought up at the beginning of the show for the amount of flack he got at Game Awards for not mentioning it.
I agree. I don't know. It was just off-putting to me personally. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it, but it is what it is. Lego Horizon Adventures. How do you
feel about that?
I mean, I'm not gonna play it. Like, I'm not big into Lego games anymore. Like, I really enjoyed the Star Wars ones when I was a kid. The Marvel ones have always been fun. This is not one that I'm probably gonna go out of my way to pick up. If I can get it for super cheap, yeah, sure, I'll pick up and play it. But I mean, it looks fun. It's a Lego game. Lego games are always fun. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have your dumb amount of fun with it. Coming out holiday this year, but coming to Switch. Thought that was interesting. Coming to Switch. So I guess shout out to that. Aloy is now eligible for Super Smash Brothers. She's on the Nintendo console. So shout out to that.
I mean, is that all it takes?
Basically.
It's not the highest bar to get in.
It's not. No More Room in Hell 2, which I know some people were pretty excited about that one.
That seemed very interesting. I looked into No More Room in Hell 1, but didn't really go into it. With how 2 was set up, it seemed very interesting to me.
Yeah. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Yeah, that's coming out September 3rd. All right.
Did we need it? I mean, we knew about it, but did we need it?
Yeah. I mean, this was mostly just because there's been a ton of betas for this game.
Yeah.
It's like they were doing beta weekends every weekend
for a
long time. For this game, this is mostly just to be like, hey, game's actually coming out now.
Right. Let's see, like I said, Cuff Bust, which that looks like a dumb amount of fun. I'm here for that. Got another look at Star Wars Outlaws, which we also got an extended look in the Ubisoft Forward. Neva, from the creators of Gears, that's coming out this year.
Very pretty.
I will say that Neva, at the beginning of the trailer, had no interest in it. By the end of the trailer, probably something that I will at least attempt to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the previous game, Gris, I enjoyed. I liked its art style because I did watch a couple playthroughs of it. And same with Neva. I may never play it myself, but it looks very beautiful, and I'll probably at least watch someone else play.
It's going to be one of those games.
Yes.
Let's see, got the reveal for Civ 7, that being 2025. And then, like I said, the Black Myth Wukong, little CG trailer with the special editions revealed, which the special editions look sick. Looks like the collector's edition is already sold out, which comes with the statue. The deluxe I saw was still available with PlayAsia, which comes with his crown, which that's pretty sick. No physical game, though, happening, at least as of now. Apparently, with this being Game Science's first game that they're doing globally, They just apparently don't have the resources to ship out, a physical game worldwide. So they said they're working on it. And there's also no Xbox edition coming at launch because they're setting it to match their quality standards, is what they said, to optimizing. So I can't help but to think, is that once again the Series S holding something back? Because you got to optimize it for both. And in my opinion, the answer is yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it 100% would be. Because everything we've... you got to think back to the first time we saw Black Myth versus what we're seeing now. I don't think the Series S would keep up with it.
Yeah. So Xbox version coming at some point, though. I will say, I sent John messages about this. I thought it was so funny after this trailer, where I was seeing stuff on Twitter of people being like, "Oh man, no gameplay. That's pretty sus to me. I'm gonna have to wait for a review or something like that, or whatever of the sort." Basically, commenting that it was just a CG trailer. She's like, "Oh, it's a CG trailer only, and it's coming out this year." Red flags, red flags. It's just like, this is that situation of people are still learning about the game. Like, there's an hour worth of gameplay you can find on YouTube. You're fine.
Yeah, it's like we've got, in the last, I'd say 8 months, we've gotten more information on gameplay and everything about this game than we have in the last 3 years.
Yeah. So, I just thought that was funny because we talked about that a couple weeks ago, where people are still learning about the game, and that was proof. That was 100% proof, and I thought it was funny. Next up, we had Once Human. We also had a Metaphor trailer based on all the archetypes or the jobs, and they detail where there's going to be basically over 40 archetypes. I think the way they talked about it is it's like a baseline of, I think, 12, and then it can expand to 40 based on how you kind of take one archetype to expand it and evolve it, where it can end up being about 40. I could be wrong on that, but I thought that's what I heard. But either way, I mean, game still looks fantastic.
Plus.
Do what?
40 plus.
Yeah, it's like 40 plus, as you can evolve stuff or whatever. So either way, looks sick. Still very excited for this game. Got a non-gameplay trailer of Batman Arkham Shadows, which that's the MetaQuest VR game, and loved in the Summer Game Fest when it popped up for VR. You could hear people in the crowd be like, "Boo!" Just can't blame them on that. Tears of Metal, that looked interesting.
Yeah.
Then the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero with a release date of October 11th, same day as Metaphor. Not a fan of that, but it is what it is.
That's an easy choice for me.
Yeah, for you.
It's an easy choice for me, too.
And for you. For me, I mean, I know my choice. At the end of the day, Sparking Zero, it's going to just be a fighting game with some interesting aspects to it. I'll hop on, play a few hours, but I'm going to Metaphor after that for sure. I will say with the Dragon Ball Sparking thing, one thing that I did really enjoy is the what if scenarios that they included, where at the beginning of the game you can choose to have Piccolo come with you and help you, or not, or the what if scenario of what if Goku went Super Saiyan versus Vegeta in the Saiyan arc. I think that's really cool to include something like that. I'm here for that, where you can make some choices and see how the story goes. There's a collector's edition for it though, $220.
I was gonna say at this point, the amount of times we've played through the story, you might as well let us get weird with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that was some of my favorite stuff in Budokai. Does anyone
What if instead of Trunks comes to kills Cooler, you just side with Cooler?
Yes, do shit like that, or where in Budokai, freaking Cell absorbs Krillin, and he's a little midget. He's a little midget bug. That's awesome. That's just stupid and wacky. In Budokai 2, I think Tien and Yamcha fuse together. Yeah, they do. An ugly ass fusion. Jesus Christ! But it's a thing. So I was like, let us get weird. Let's have fun. Did have a collector's edition though for $220. The Broly Goku statue that comes with it looks pretty sick. Have not decided if I want to try to swing for it yet though. Delta Force Hawk Ops PC Global Alpha in July. Fatal Fury City of Wolves.
I was going to say Delta Force looked awesome.
That actually interested you, John?
Yeah, I'm realizing I seem to have a flavor that I'm excited about right now, and it's definitely fitting in there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I was on the fence about it, but...
What about Fatal Fury City of Wolves?
I mean, it's a Fatal Fury game, man. I haven't seen a Fatal Fury game in forever.
Yeah, gotta say what you got there, Zach. Just cool to see.
I'm gonna pick it up because I could look it up, but I don't remember the last time an official Fatal Fury game came out.
Could not tell you. Let's see, Battle Crush, and then of course we had the Mecha Break, the Blumhouse game slate, which those were all top to bottom. I thought were pretty interesting. Power Rangers. Very curious about them.
2 or 3 of them I would actually try.
Yeah, I agree to that. I mean, they all looked really interesting. John shaking his head, but I mean, I would like to play a majority of them. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm happy that Blumhouse is getting into the gaming space, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the approach they're taking, where they're like hitting up devs and stuff. Just be weird, do your thing. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm here for that. Let's have some weird games. Again, Power Rangers. We had Deer and Boy. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Slitterhead, Killer Bean, Karen, Wander Stop, Unknown 9 Awakening,
That seems interesting.
the one that John didn't know how to pronounce, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it either, the Intria, I don't know, the last song, whatever that was. First Descendant, and then shout out to the Outer Sloth thing. Shout out to that. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Yeah, no, I thought that was pretty cool because it's kind of the same thing that Blumhouse is doing, where they're working with indie devs to make indie horror games. Like it's kind of the same concept. Where Outer Sloth, they're just like, hey, I mean, everyone knows the story of Inner Sloth and Among Us at this point. They were a dying game. They were a dying company that got revived thanks to 2020. And big streamers finding the game and playing it, and all of a sudden now they're set for life, as long as they continue to, not, make great shit, right? Like now they're set, like their company was saved. So them kind of doing the same thing, making Outer Sloth as like a production company for indie devs to make their games. Like, hey, shout out to that, man. Indie devs supporting indie devs. Like we're here for that. That's awesome. Sonic X Shadow Generations with that October 25th release date. Dune Awakening did get a Dark and Darker trailer. Shout out to that, John.
Yeah, I mean, Dark and Darker officially back on Steam and Epic now.
Yep.
Believe it is in the free-to-play capacity, and there is a little bit of backlash with the free-to-play model that they have right now, because their free-to-play system as it currently is, you get one character, like you can only create one character, and you can only play in the normal matches, which is like the casual lobby. You can't play the high roller, which I think I did see an article where someone from Iron Mace did comment on that and saying that they're going to try to work on that because their free to play model not exactly up to par for a free to play model of a game these days.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully there's some work done on that, and I'm not 100% sure because I haven't tried to connect it yet, but I don't know if they have the full functionality of connecting your account from, I forget the name of the client that they use for it. Yeah, Blacksmith. I don't know if there's full functionality with connecting your Blacksmith account to your Steam account yet, but it is. Last I saw, it was being worked on.
Okay. Well, hey, shout out to the fact that it's on Steam and Epic now again. You know what I mean? Like, shout out that it's actually, over this hump that they were going over.
Yeah.
So. Then we have Battle Aces, which this one just made me mad.
Why?
This is one of those cases. And look, when I sent this to John, John's just like, that's immediately what I thought of. And I responded without hesitation. We both know that I'm not the brightest. All right, so let's go ahead and establish that.
From watching the trailer, he did not get that it was an RTS game.
That trailer looked so sick to me, and I was so excited for it. And then it's like, it's an RTS. And I'm like, I don't give a shit now. I feel betrayed.
How'd you not notice it was an RTS?
Look, man, I already said it's established that I'm not the smartest guy in the world here. All right, I'm not the sharpest crayon in the tool shed. All right, we should know that by now.
I will say I am curious about this game purely because when they talked about it briefly after the trailer, they were talking about wanting to make it accessible to everyone and eliminating the tedious clicking that is
I saw
typically associated with RTS games. I don't know what that means, I don't understand what they're trying to do there. So
I don't know.
I'm interested to see how they're trying to solve that problem.
Yeah. But I will say, I was not the only one that was deceived by that trailer. There were other people on Twitter that felt the same way.
I think it might be non-RTS people
Probably.
not recognizing RTS.
All the signs.
Yeah, all the signs that are clearly there, and we're just not all intelligent enough to spot it, like me. Hey, look, the thing is though, at least I'm man enough to admit it that I am not very smart. My bad. Next up, we had the finals update. We also had an update for Alan Wake 2 Night Springs. It's out right now. Actually, it shadow
I'm
dropped.
going to be honest. The collector's edition or deluxe edition physical was also really nice.
Yeah. So Alan Wake 2 is coming physically after it was originally a digital only launch. Coming out physically now. So big shout out to that. It's coming this fall. It does look really nice. We also have New World coming to console in October. So coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X. A big shout out to New World. Yeah, we get a new breath of life there.
Yeah, I will say that's actually kind of nice because like having played New World, I feel like that would be a great console game.
I do too.
Yeah.
Especially with like the nature of how the game is played.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to jump into it and even just to test it out on console would be great.
Yeah. We also had Hyper Light Breaker early access later this summer. Party Animals getting a cart mode, so shout out to that. Skate still working on it. That was kind of the main thing that they wanted everyone to know is that they're working on the game. And then a Pal World update. I think it's the biggest update so far. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Whole new island.
biggest update by far.
I was going to ask John, how excited are you about to come back in?
I was actually talking to one of my buddies about it, like kind of because he didn't watch any of the showcase, so I was like walking him through it, and he ended up looking at it. Could be interesting to jump back into. I'm gonna have to get with my other buddy because he was actually running the last server we were playing.
Gotcha.
So if we want to get back into it, I'll have to get with him to try to get that server back up and going. But yeah, it looked great. Whole new island, new raid, new gear, new level cap, some new pals, and I don't remember what they called it, or it was a stronghold, like oil rig stronghold.
Yeah.
Looked fairly interesting. It's like I haven't played Power World in a while, but it's like jumping back into it. I mean, honestly, I'd be mostly interested to see some of like the quality of life stuff they've added, along with all the new update stuff.
Then we had Valorant to console 4 years after the game launched. I'm excited for this one personally. I've gone on
Valorant.
I've gone on record that I am horrible at keyboard mouse games. I just am. All right, whatever. Call me a bitch. I don't care. Valorant has never really had controller support, and I've always wanted to try to play the game. So it coming to console is cool. I'm here for this. At least when it dropped, it had no controller support. If it's got it now, awesome. Haven't checked.
It doesn't.
Huh?
It doesn't.
Okay. I didn't think so because that's always been the one thing that's prevented me from playing the game because I'm a bitch and I can't play keyboard and mouse. Again, at least I can admit it though. So it coming to console. That's cool. Beta next week. When it comes to console, officially, I'll play it. I'll give it a shot. Finally, 4 years later. And then we
can carry over.
Do what now?
I wonder if you can carry your account stuff over.
I would assume so.
I would assume so because it's all Riot account based these days, and there's already the especially for Xbox, there's already like the Riot implementation of it that you can tie into it.
Because I mean, I'll play Valorant again on console, but I really don't want to start over.
Fair.
Yeah, I think it would be a safe bet that it would.
Then we had Squad Busters, which just had a very overstacked cast for a trailer.
Yeah.
Yep. It had freaking Chris Hemsworth in it. And I can't remember the actor's name, but the dude from Hangover. as the lead chicken there. So I mean, it was a very had a couple other notable people there. So very stacked cast of a trailer for that mobile game. So shout out to that. Hopefully it'll all be worth it. The Monster Hunter Wilds got a little new trailer on that one with announcement of crossplay for all platforms. So shout out to that.
Not just crossplay for all platforms, simultaneous release for all platforms.
Hey, there you go.
Which is going to be exciting. The crossplay thing's pretty big. Also, it'll be nice that you'll actually be able to pick it up on any console you want to, or like any console or PC you want to, pretty much, and still be able to play with whoever. Because that's been the downside previously. Is like with World, I think I bought it initially on Xbox. My friends who were actually playing it were playing it on PC. So then I ended up picking it up later on PC, but they were done with it by then.
Oof.
It all circles back around though. Everybody gets interested in it again.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
And then ended with again Phantom Blade Zero, which I thought the gameplay for this looked sick. We had a reveal for this in a state of play like sometime last year or whatever, but we didn't get much of a reveal. So finally getting some gameplay reveal. I'm here for it. I think the game looks really cool. I thought it was high, fast-paced gameplay. And it looks really nice.
I think part of my problem with the whole showcase is the ending with Phantom Blade Zero. Nothing against Phantom Blade Zero.
I feel you.
It's the fact that even if there's no this is the next big thing, or here's our final showcase or something, we didn't get anything new to end.
Oh, yeah, like a new game, yeah.
We didn't get a new announcement. We just got an update, which, while cool and like you said, fast paced, looks really interesting, kind of put a little bit of a spoil on the ending for me.
I think that's probably, now that you put it that way, that's probably the best way to describe why the ending kind of felt lackluster. Because I think we're just so used to having a new announcement, at the end, or at least a pretty big reveal. Like, obviously, we knew Elden Ring was a thing, but we never saw Elden Ring gameplay until that. Something like that, which I understand for Phantom Blade, this was the gameplay reveal, sure. But like I said at the beginning of the show, while it looks cool, no disrespect to the game, it's not to the same level as an Elden Ring. You know what I mean? So it probably would have been better if we had like some new reveal or something at the end.
Well, that's the thing. We've been conditioned for the last 5-6 years that every showcase ends with your big banger. And like you said, no offense to Phantom Blade, it didn't have that big energy.
Yeah.
That I would typically associate with an end of showcase game.
I agree. Unfortunate, but I agree because it does look really cool. Well, anyway, that was Summer Game Fest. All right, boys, we need to do our official rating that we mocked up. What number rating would you give this showcase? We have a guideline.
I can't read that.
You know what they are. We have a guideline. I give it a 5, which is mid.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
So terrible.
I'm giving it a 4.
Is that what it says? Does that say terrible?
You can't read it.
Okay, let me say this in case it does actually say terrible. We'll have to go back and make a new card or get a whiteboard or something to make it a little readable on that. But my reasoning for giving it a 4, even if we do call that like terrible or bad or whatever we're calling it, is
shout out to Tyler.
As stated previously, Summer Game Fest is typically the showcase that I come out of the most excited out of the year.
Yeah.
And so I even trying not to go in with high expectations, with Jeff saying it's not going to be a crazy show, kind of temper your expectations. I still tend to get excited for it because I'm usually there for the smaller games with Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
There was not a lot to be excited about for me this time. So just kind of based on the history of Summer Game Fest usually being the top of the year, in my opinion, it was kind of whatever.
Yeah. As for me, I would give it probably a 6 in my opinion, just because
So
there
fine.
were several games that I was excited to see and look at and whatnot. So I mean, I give it over. It was not a great show. It was still mid, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's like there were 2 or 3 games that looked interesting to me on this showcase, and I mean we got a cool CGI for Black Myth, but it's not gonna save the showcase for me.
All right. Hold on. We almost got this done.
He's just making a bigger version of an unreadable text.
Yep.
Correct. Because I have horrible handwriting. All right, here we go. I got the board set.
Why did you write it so small?
I can't help it, okay?
You have so much room on that whiteboard.
Well, this is what we got to deal with it.
We'll clean it up before the next showcase or before the next episode.
I need to get a second whiteboard because I know Tyler wants to use this for ATFS. So we need to get another. Yeah. I'm going to tell Tyler, hey, you bought the first one, buy me another one. I need another one. Give me another one in the studio.
Yeah, we'll have that written a little cleaner for the next episode.